A Patsy celebration. Welcome in the beginning of another hour of the Ben Maller Show. We are in the air everywhere like workmates. As we know, two heads are better than one, coast to coast, border to border, and beyond, on the vast and rowdily powerful microphones of FSR, emanating live from the popper, the hot take popper, deep in the bowels of FSR. We are broadcasting live from the TireRack.com studios. TireRack.com will help you get there. An unmatched selection, fast free shipping, free road hazard protection, and over 10,000 recommended installers. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. Headline from Western PA. Play the hits, my man. Play the hits. That is where the Steelers welcome the 2-10 Patriots in for the Thursday night special. Now, we talked earlier in the show about the fact that the game went to Pittsburgh. We analyzed Mike Tomlin and his situation and all that. But we're going to turn the focus away from the Pierogi Palooza. We're going to turn away from that and focus in on the team that won, not the better story. But we're going to sidestep our way over to the New England perspective. As you know, the Patriots embattled right now as they are fighting for draft status. You probably know where I'm going, but maybe not. The Patriots picking up their third victory of the year and, in theory, helping calm the waters for their embattled head coach. So let us discuss the question: does the Thursday night victory take the pressure off Bill Belichick in New England? So I've got the Avenue, Super Soaker, and French Soldier. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make a jelly donut. When we had our production meeting for the show, and big terms there, and then we talked about the A block of hour two, and Iowa Sam told me he loves a good jelly donut. And he had an unpopular opinion, Iowa Sam. He said more than a Boston cream donut. He likes it more than that. All right, so anyway, does the victory take the pressure off Bill Belichick in New England? So the answer is absolutely not. Number one. Bill Belichick, if you check the GPS, he is still lost somewhere out in the wilderness, and he's waist deep in mud. If anything, in this bizarro world that we live in, this type of performance will actually work more as a stomach punch and a kick to the shin for Belichick. And here's why. This is a refresher course. It never shoulda, coulda, woulda been this bad if we only had a quarterback. If we only had a brain, if we only had a quarterback. The Patriots did not have to drive the jalopy down the avenue of suck. They didn't have to go as bad as they've gone this year. The Patriots actually looked like an average NFL team. They lost several of their name-brand defensive players to injuries during the season or malfeasance where they ended up getting released outright. And yet, with the band of no-names on defense, the leftover fettuccine Alfredo in the back of the refrigerator, in the Tupperware, they've been pretty good on defense. Now you say, well, it's because Mitch Trubisky sucks, and that's part of it. But last week, the national media, Chris Collinsworth has massaged Justin Herbert so much that we're convinced he's great. The Chargers only scored 6 points against the Patriots defense last week. So the point of all this is that the Patriots have played a level of defense that should have them in playoff contention. Even with all of the nuclear fallout that is around them, the offense is the issue. But the offense showed up for 30 minutes. Where has that been all season? Bailey Zappe for 30 minutes was rock solid. Now, we will forget the second half in which he regressed to the mean. Zappe did find his inner mojo in the first half of the game. Now, in the second half, not so much. In fact, the second half numbers for Bailey Zappe, why are you going to be negative? Bailey Zappe only attempted 7 passes in the second half. That's it, 7. He was 5 of 7 for 44 yards. That's 6.2 yards per attempt. He had no touchdowns. Patriots didn't score in the second half, and an interception. That works out to a passer rating of 48.2. Now, my buddy Sorja called up last hour. He had Zappe fever again. He said the Patriots have now found their quarterback, and then he realized what had happened in the second half, and he retracted that statement. So Sorja did retract that statement. Good job by him. But Zappe in the first half looked fine. He was making some big throws. Found Hunter Henry a couple times for touchdowns. And Zeke Elliott made some plays there from scrimmage. And so even in a moment where the Patriots actually look like, hey, they were not as terrible as their record would indicate, the victory comes at a price. The third victory evens the books with the Arizona football team in a race for the number 2 overall pick. Now, this, if both teams finish with the same record, New England and Arizona, it will come down to the tiebreaker, and the tiebreaker, if they don't play, I don't think they do, the tiebreaker will be strength of schedule. And at this moment, with the Cardinals having a game coming up this weekend, but at this moment, the Patriots would still pick second based on the tiebreaker, even though they have the same record. But that is subject to change based on the records of the teams that you played, and there's no way to determine that until all the games are played this weekend. Now, page 2. What does this Bailey Zappe first half performance, the 3 touchdowns, do for the Mac Jones Marching and Chowder Society? So this, it's like going to Home Depot or Lowe's and going down, they have the aisle with the nails. They have the aisle with it. This is another nail in the coffin of Mac Jones with the pads. He didn't even play. He's still taking shrapnel, even by not playing. Mac Jones defenders have argued, initially it was Matt Patricia, blame the fat guy. It was all Matt Patricia in 2022. Then they brought in Bill O'Brien, and this guy, he knows what he's doing, right? The whiz kid, not really he's a kid, but the whiz. And he's going to fix Mac Jones, and that didn't work. So then they moved. It's like a moving target. Then the blame was the playmakers. And, well, looky here. Bailey Zappe went out there with the same super soaker water gun of playmakers, and for a half a game was able to get it done. Playing alongside inferior players, the same players that Mac Jones has failed with. And, in fact, the Patriots were even more weather-beaten in this game. Pigskin vagabonds, soldiers of fortune, Hunter Henry, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Zeke Elliott were the 3 musketeers who saved the day. And it's also a reminder that this is a performance-based business. You don't have to have a first-round pick quarterback out there. As I was told years ago, it's not the size of the boat, it's the motion of the ocean. The tide helped Bailey Zappe for a half. And then in the second half, not so much. Now, final point. We're going to pivot away from the Patriots and the Steelers because the NBA held this Fugazi in-season tournament in Sin City in Vegas on Thursday. And they had 2 games. The Pacers edged the Bucks, comeback fashion there, and the Lakers charbroiled, or was it air-fried, the Pelicans. And so the question here, wrap the NBA night of in-season tournament hoops into a neat little package. What are you going to remember? Well, the answer to that question, what are you going to remember, is a short term, I will remember a couple things. Long term, I will remember nothing. I will completely forget that I flipped over from the football to watch this, and actually I didn't even have to flip over because there was a game played early, the early game, which was Indiana and Milwaukee, and when they get together, it's must-see TV. But the thought I will remember now, because I just saw it a few hours ago, was the Oshkosh Panache. Tyrese Halliburton, the kid from Oshkosh, Wisconsin, in the Milwaukee area, goes out for 27 points, 15 assists, 7 rebounds, and a partridge in a pear tree as he beat the team he's from the city he's from, Milwaukee there, Bradley Cooper. It's a Bradley Cooper special. A Star is Born, the launching pad. Up, up, and away! Now, in the late game, we had New Orleans play 12 minutes of championship-level basketball. And then, at the end of the first quarter, Zion Williamson called the front desk and said, can I please get not a late checkout, I'd like an early checkout. At one point early in the game, the Pelicans led by 5 points. They had a lead at the end of the first quarter. The final 36 minutes of the game, they were outscored 104-59. They got outscored by 45 points. Now, it's not because the Lakers are good. You don't outscore someone by that many points if the other team is trying. And that comes from a Hall of Fame coach, the late Bill Fitch, who was coaching the Clippers when I was a young cat. And he used to talk about different things in the NBA. That was one of his points. Is like, if you play hard, if you play team basketball, it doesn't matter how talented you are or how untalented you are, you're not going to get blown out. You're not going to do it. Well, Zion Williamson, looking like a French soldier in this game, he and the Pelicans surrendering. And it was a Nick Van Exel 1-2-3 Cancun kind of a situation. So now we have LeBron, who I guess the NBA wants the Lakers to win this for LeBron so they can brag. LeBron won the first ever in-season tournament, and Michael Jordan never won an in-season tournament, and Larry Bird never won, Magic Johnson never won, blah, blah. And then Tyrese Halliburton, for this contrived, what do you call it? It's not a championship. It's just like they made a trophy. They just decided, here's a trophy. Whoop-de-damn-do.
NBA Cup.
The NBA Cup. This is like the Stanley Cup. Are they going to give it to the players to have pool parties with, and they can travel around?
Whoop-de-hell.
The NBA Cup. Are you going to hang a banner, Koopaloop, if the Lakers win? You put another banner up there? Are you going to sell it?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, hoist the banner.
I'm having a viewing party.
This is big. When is it Saturday, the championship game of this thing?
I'm not totally sure.
I would assume it's on Saturday.
Yes, I'm getting the nod. It is Saturday.
All right. Well, there you go. Unfortunately, I have a prior social engagement, so I will not be able to watch this, but I'm sure it'll be riveting, fascinating, and amazing.